Hello everybody, just doing some stretches. Good to see all of you hopping into the stream. I'm watching both YouTube and Twitch chats. As we do every week, we want to make sure that any of your comments and suggestions and what haves you are getting responded to. So please be patient with me as I do my best. Also, this is the test for audio levels. Got just a couple minutes before we're gonna go into go mode. These stretches don't sound too good. Oh no, trust me, they are flawless. They're delightful. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. All right. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official Rockfish Games stream. I am your host, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. We're going to be going through a little bit of Everspace 2 today. This is a new updated branch that we've been working on, so I'm going to be showing you a couple new little tweaks and features and whatnot that we've been hard at work on. And yeah, should be a good time. I know there's going to be some people who are kind of wondering, well, why wasn't there a stream last week? We did make a very light announcement in the Discord. Long story short, I got a little sick. I'm feeling way better. So no worries about that whatsoever. We mostly are making all the Friday streams happening. More importantly, even though I was a little ill, the team's still been hard at work making sure we're delivering on all of those promises that we have made. And I'm going to show you some of them. Should be fun. Should be really good. So let's go ahead and load on in. Yes. Confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Pure confidence. Now, I'm fairly certain, yes. Okay, so we're actually starting at the beginning of the stream we did 2 weeks ago. There are a lot of reasons for that. But long story short, we don't want to go through the main story missions. There are more. They have been added in our build, and you're not allowed to see them yet. It's that simple. Otherwise, there is some content that has been adjusted that I do want to show you. Let's kick things off with just a little added bonus. We have two new things on this map right here. I said map, it's a page, it's a tab, it's a menu. Call it whatever you want. It's a muffin. On this muffin we have for you right here, you'll see that the flavors that you've decorated your muffin with are now visible straight up on the ship customization thing. So the way this looks, now you have your customization options. This looks very dull since they're all the same. Let me just try and, let me shake this up just lightly. Let me just, you know, whatever, get some whatevers going on in here. You can see very briefly that when you are choosing these different patterns and, you know, liking how they come together, you can quickly see what they look like from the get-go before even selecting them. It's a very minor thing, honestly. There's quite a bit more coming to these ship modifiers, so you are aware. So yeah, this is, we're just a small little thing. Andy has made some really good progress in this territory, and we are so excited to show you those next steps that we're taking so that you can make your ship exactly the way that you want it to look. So yeah, again, really simple. And also you'll notice that there's like, the way that it was before, you had the 4 different slots at the top and then underneath it was just the original style, right? And it kind of looked like there was more that could follow that. I just want to confirm those suspicions. There will be more added to these styles. Those will come in time. So just patience up and we'll do this together. Light little thing number 1. Let's let's also customize ourselves just a little bit, because I know that we have a lot of colors here. I'm really partial to orange, but I need 3 colors. I'm gonna see the first 3 colors and then just boom, boom, boom. That's the way that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the first one from Twitch, the second one from YouTube, and then I'm gonna, I don't know, we'll figure out the third one. I just need 3 colors. That blue-orange skin actually looks nice. You think so? Where was it even at? It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, it works pretty well because it's not a very tense blue, right? It's very, hey, I'm chill, and the orange is like, check me out. And it's done in a nice degree to where like there's a lot of that coverage for the blue, so it doesn't feel obnoxious because it's, you know, it's softer, and then that orange just, it's those highlights. Yeah, I'm digging that too. That really pops. I think the yellow lights need to go. If those were white, that would be a lot better. But otherwise, yeah, that's not too shabby. Oh my gosh, Twitch hasn't set a single color. You guys are slacking. YouTube, on the other hand, they're just freaking white, green, gray. Oh my gosh, purple, white, red, purple, gold. You guys are on point. So, you know, I'm giving this victory to YouTube. Screw Twitch. You guys suck. I can say that on Twitch, right? No? Oh, okay. Well, anyway. Let's get some colors in. So we got white. We got white first from Lament. Excellent. Then Zombronic. Zombronic, I need you to be a little more specific with your green. Do you want like this very, you know, scaled back but darker green style color? Like a light dark green? Oh, this stream's amazing right now. Do you want like a rich forest green style thing going on here? Do you want this grassy sort of like, I'm super bright and excited to be here? Do you want a very mediocre, standard, boring, straight up green? Or do you want kind of like this other foresty but has a little bit more vibrancy in it green? What do you want? How do you want it, Zombronic? Zombchronic. Zombchronic. Woo! I was like, GG YouTube, I know, right? I need a follow-up, Zomb. I need a follow-up. I don't see a follow-up. I'm gonna go boring green if I don't see a follow-up. Otherwise, the third color comes from Tom Albrecht. Boring green, nailed it, perfect. Third one comes from Tom, and he says gray. All right, so we'll do web gray, and we'll also metallicize the gray just to give it more of a metallic style. And then let's see what happens if we get the green on the more metallic side. Is too much? Too much? It's okay. I think it's fine. He did say boring green, you're right. All right, let's just go standard, straight up standard. Okay, so that's nice. Let's also change our lights. I'm gonna go ahead and choose, we're gonna go ahead and choose some greens on this one just to make sure it's nice and consistent. Yeah, that's not too shabby. That'll work. This is what we need. Excellent, so now that's out of the way. We're not gonna worry about logo. So I also wanna talk about this little segment right here. This is not done. This is work in progress right now. The current conditions, this basically is that added step to help you as a player understand what the heck is going on in the game. So let me just give you an example of that. And we gotta find some enemies first. We gotta get to some enemies. Won't take long. And we'll just start blasting everything, right? Let's go out here. We'll probably have, I think there's a beat the bad guy boss in this location. So we'll go ahead over there. And then we will see at least one condition that shows what's going on, I'm sure, and talk about it, how it pops up and whatnot. Where's purple? Rip Twitch? Yeah, I know, right? You're too slow! the funny thing is that I think Twitch has less of a delay. Isn't that right? Or whatever. Maybe next week we'll let Twitch decide. All right, so through this showing the conditions, we might have a couple more things to show. That's the goal, at least. Just a couple. All right, yeah, so we gotta take out this Outlaw Viper. We wanna get a corroded effect going on so that we can see what that's about. New sound design there for the lock-on. Let's do it again. Yep, so if you are not familiar with this lock, this is something that we did talk about in a prior stream, where your missiles, this is strictly for your missiles. This does not apply to your weaponry. 100% for your missiles that have any sort of homing capabilities. The duration we currently have set is 2.5 seconds. If somebody's like, oh my gosh, well, actually the missile needs to be locked on for 5 seconds and blah, blah. If you're getting into balancing right now, you're doing it wrong. I'm just straight up telling you that. I want to make sure that your expectation is curbed on how you need to be approaching the feedback cycle. Right now, we are adding content. Once we get a nice good pocket added and you're playing it in April, then come barrage us with those points of interest. But for now, it's 2.5 seconds to lock on. Once you're locked, it cannot be broken unless you look away. We didn't get hit by the corrosion missile. Whoops. We actually need to get hit by it. That's not a corrosion missile. I need a corrosion missile, please. Outlaw Viper. I'm begging for you to allow me to show. All right, hang on. Okay, corrosion missile, here we go. All right, so now we have a corrosion effect. So if we go to our ship tab, you'll see that we have this corrosion effect that's been applied at the top of the screen. You see that one little tidbit that pops up and it says corrosion, and that's basically it. That's all it tells you. So the idea of the condition tracker here is that if you ever have a bunch of things up there and you're like, what's happening? Why am I affected in this way? I need more information. Well, because you can't just mouse over that conditional effect while you're flying, we tied it to this menu option so that you can gain more information. So clearly, whenever you have any type of effect, you can mouse over it here. It will say, this is what's happening. This is how long it's gonna do. This is how much damage it's doing. This is how much of a benefit you're having, etc., 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 so that it allows you to understand the game space more. That's literally what it's there for. It's to help you understand as a player what is going on. And obviously it's not done. Obviously it says condition 000/000. This is a work in progress thing, but we're going to be adding so many different types of conditions here and the main goal here is just that level of transparency. This way, whenever you get your weapons that have absurd effects on them that are doing this thing and that thing and stacking this and there's other modifiers, you know what that means aside from just like a little highlight that says blast damage, you know, whatever it's called. Insert key term here, right? So, yeah. Another little tidbit for you guys. Woo! Last time I was here, I downloaded the alpha access. That was a while back. Is the game still unfinished? Yes, it is in early access now. And we do have, everything is on our schedule, on track for the April release still. That has not changed. You will see that coming this April. So that'll be a lot of fun whenever we get that dropped. In the meantime, we are still experimenting with a lot of these additions. In fact, this version of the game is not our most current one because our most current one is completely dead in the water. When we try to run our most current iteration that we have been working on, it literally just dies. Can't run it. So, still a lot of work, but we're making progress, and it's on track for the April launch. So check this guy out. This is a Bloodstar Overseer. You guys have seen the Overseer before in a previous stream. For those who haven't, the Overseer is a unique enemy type found to the Bloodstar faction. These guys come with a ton of armor. And in order to best them, you have to really seriously chip away at that armor by shooting it off of the ship. And these guys are nasty. They will boost away when you're trying to focus in on those pieces. You can see right here. Like every time I'm chipping away something, he's like, nope, I'm gonna force you to try a new lock on. And then he's gonna run into this to make it super easy for me to pin him down. I do enjoy that. Thank you for that. He's trying so hard and you got stuck, bro. Nah, you're not getting away from this one. Okay, that's a little embarrassing. Oh, we gotta wait for the lock on. All right, from here, we're good, we're good. There we go, bloodstar weapon, heavy plating. Hey, heavy plating I think is something we haven't shown yet. Heavy plating is a unique bloodstar item. And of course it doesn't have any unique modifiers on it yet, but now you've seen all 3 of the different bloodstar equipment items that can drop, and they drop specifically from bloodstar ships. You cannot get these generated from any other ship other than bloodstar. Now it might be possible to procure these items from certain vendors down the line, but as of right now, they specifically drop from bloodstar faction ships. This will be applicable to other factions that we include in the game that will be all sorts of weaponry, from your primaries to your secondaries to any of the modules, maybe even some consumables, maybe even some other unique little elements you haven't thought of yet that are being well worked on in the background as of right now. So a lot of fun stuff to come in that field. In addition to that, it doesn't look like there's any sort of tie-in here with this particular item and the other bloodstar equipment. But rest assured, we are looking into synergy capability. So if you stack yourself with all the bloodstar loot, you're gonna get a benefit for that. Oh, hey, nice new cargo unit. I'll take it. All right, so back into this experience. We've got no more bloodstars, that's fine. We'll take these guys out. We have another, yeah, okay, so reactive armor is always fun. Reactive armor trait popping up. Again, the condition tracker, it doesn't just show anything negative. It doesn't show negatives. That's what I'm trying to say. It shows also positives so that you have those explanations for you as well. This might get a little crazy, which is why, even though you can't see it here, this will be able to move left and right. So you can scroll through tons and tons and tons of conditions if you are in the craziest firefight of your life, all right? There is not a max of 6 conditions to the player ship. Okay. Lock on missile, fire at the drone, get wrecked. Take out another outlaw Viper. Oh, come on. Don't get scattergun to the face, that hurts a lot. Ouch. I like how I didn't want that to happen, and it just happened. All right, Proto Scout, bring him down. Another little detail that's been added, it's popped up a couple times. Whenever we collect energy orbs, our engines and our weapons get a gold sheen on them. Of course, an energy orb doesn't drop, so I can't show that right now. But it shows that it gives you kind of a infinite boost to your engines and your weapons for a short time. So those energy orbs are going to play a pretty significant part in the combat. The more you maintain yourself in the space, the more you're rewarded to stay in the space. If you break away for, you know, defensive maneuvers, still applicable. So you can recharge and outfit yourself from there. So it kind of fits different play styles. If you want to keep pushing, you can do that. If you want to zip on out to protect yourself, you can do that. It's going to depend on your play style, your synergies, and there might be even more boons to those energy orbs based on your equipment. Neat. All right, let's pick up some stuff and then we'll head to our next location. Debuffs and buffs. Well, sure, yeah. They're called many different things. Positives, negatives, benefits, repercussions. Now, come on. We're not arguing semantics here. Thank you. Can't wait for more side missions and more story. Yeah, I think a lot of people are wanting more story. And rightly so. You know, I said this in previous streams, like, we're not trying to make an episodic release, right? Like, everything that you've seen up to this point, it's not all done yet. Like, we're still gonna go back and tweak chapter 1. But obviously there's more story coming, obviously. A lot more. And we have to temper ourselves not to reveal too many of those plot hooks and twists, because there's a number of them that are important that do tie into the aftermath of Everspace 1. And we want it to be a surprise. We want it to be fun, right? Knowing the entirety of the story before a game is even released, I would argue is not fun. All right. I think we are going to utilize our EMP missile here. Because we don't, well, not too bad. Yeah, that bomber is what we're concerned about. So we're gonna let him take a break. Maybe close the distance. Oh man, we didn't even hit him? Oh my gosh. Try that again. There we go. Thanks, Hive. Now you'll also notice in the middle of this, he's got a timer on him right now. That is an EMP debuff. So he cannot be EMP'd again for another 13 seconds. If I use my EMP generator like this, he's not affected. The other ships are, but he's not affected. So you have to time your EMP shots accordingly. You cannot shoot an EMP missile and then use your EMP device to stack on top of each other, okay? They're independent effects. You have to choose when and where that you apply those effects. Also, we about to die. I'm sure we'll be fine. Gotta pull a few maneuvers, that's all.
This fight is way unfair.
Oh, a madcap? Yikes. I'm glad we had these turrets. Gonna just focus this in and make sure we don't have an embarrassing death during the live stream. We're better than this. All right, good, good. There we go. I mean, things can calm down a little bit. We certainly need some more armor. Ooh, a sticky turret capsule. I missed. Let's go ahead and grab this and bring it home. We'll put him right here too. Just a little trap. All right, whew. Quick breather. No F. All right. Fins, I like how you think you're educating me on game design. Thanks for that. All right. Yeah, so it's an exploration of ideas, Retro Nutcase. We are looking to see how it stacks up. Literally. We want to see if having EMP be its own independent factor of things coming together promotes more creativity in the game space, or if it actually hinders creativity. And right now, we kind of feel like it's going to promote that, so you can't just spam EMP all over the place. At the same time, we think that it would be valuable for a player to go like a very heavy EMP build, for example, right? And we want to reward that. We do want to reward that. So in a case of that EMP build, we might have other modifiers that come up that say reduces the effect of enemy EMP timers to like 15 seconds instead of 30, right? But that's kind of going into a varying territory that we don't need to worry about. Because there's gonna be a lot more modifiers like that show up. Oh, a nano injector. That might be good to put onto the ship. We have lots of them, actually. Okay. Let's see if we can get a bloodstar drop from the prospector. I really hope we get a repeater. I love the repeater. That's quite possibly my favorite weapon we have in the game as of right now. Just a cargo unit, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. You can't win them all. All right. So let's just repair ourselves a little bit. Beautiful. Hang on a second. What is going on here? Oh, okay, yeah. You guys. All right. Let's take out a couple more guys in this territory. Maybe we'll see some other things going on. Like my death, perhaps. Oh my goodness. I really want another bloodstar item. That would make me really happy. And we also need a change of weaponry. That's for sure. Excellent, an overseer. Beautiful. There's a lot of bloodstar in this area. Cruise booster, small arms, wiring kit. None of these things are important to me. Lot of opponents here. And you'll also see that all these guys are the same level that I am. So this is a really important time to talk about the aspect of difficulty. Something that you guys desperately wanted added into the game was a greater challenge, simply put. And while it is the opening of the game and we want to ease that playing factor in, we did have a look at how that difficulty starts scaling when you reach like level 5-ish or so, and how you approach that game space from that point. And as such, I mean, you can see right here, like, yeah, my items are actually kind of crappy. That's a fair, you know, counter argument here. But we do want to make sure that these enemies, like, you can't just scrape them up and spit them out, right? Like, they do need to provoke some sort of thoughts, some sort of strategic approach, perhaps, to how you want to build into these situations. Goodness gravy, and we're dead. No? I'm still alive somehow, but we are gonna die. Yep. So you can really see, like, we really wanted to ramp up that factor, and when you hit, like, I think it's around level 5. I want to say it's about level 5. That's where the game's really gonna start opening up, and it's gonna punish you for making mistakes. It's gonna punish you for not following the mechanics that we've applied into this space to outfit yourself, to repair yourself, to use your devices. We want to encourage that, and that's very much a push, very much a core pillar of this game space in regards to the shooter aspect of it. Now, that being said, if somebody out there is watching this going like, oh man, that looks way too tough, there's also the ability to pick and choose where you want to go, right? I went to an unknown signal, which is very much a toss-up of things that can be incredibly difficult or hyper easy. This could have just been a mining colony with spare ores that I could just pick up and just head on out to another location. You never quite know what you're gonna get from these unknown signals. That's kind of just kind of something that if you want to fly in and see what's going on, do it. And if you feel overwhelmed, fly on out, so long as there's not a jump suppressor, that is. So a big factor, that's a really big factor. I really want to stress that a lot, guys, is that the difficulty factor, we are very much improving and adjusting that, along with, you heard it the last stream that we had, the adjustments to the AI. Big adjustments to the AI. Oh, look, we got an outlaw base. Let's do this one. We should be able to do this, right? Our ship could use a lot better maneuverability, that's for sure. Sentinels usually have a focus more in their shields. I'm pretty sure the one that I have has a focus in its shields. But also our shield's not the best. But yeah, this base was largely undefended. I think we might see some outlaws spawn in a moment or two, but not terribly worried about any repercussions here. And we absolutely need better weapons. So hopefully we're gonna get some drops. If not, we're gonna find a merchant or do a job that will provide a weapon. You can do jobs that give certain items, yes. Yeah, that actually does currently exist, but it's just not very, this guy just teleported in and ran into an asteroid. Sorry, I'm giggling at that. But yeah, I mean, you can have those experiences and see what the rewards of a job are before you take it. So if you are looking for a specific item, you're like, oh, this job's gonna provide it, you can do that. Absolutely, you can do that. Let's see if we can do that right now, in fact. So we need to specifically go to Nefty's Plains, and we're gonna just take on some jobs. Nice to see it'll offer a challenge. Yeah, I mean, the way that I approach games personally is that if I am going to participate in a game, I want to be challenged. That's how I play. I'm not looking to just have fun. I want to have my mind stretched. So I very much enjoy tactics. I very much enjoy strategy. So for me, it's a very rewarding thing for us to be boosting the difficulty to where you have to find that sweet spot of balance in order to stabilize your ship and all of its components and also put the damage out, right? To take on your foes. So let's see if we have any jobs that can do just that. Let's see, we've got anything that provides, oop, there's a rocket launcher there. That would actually be really nice. So that's right next to my face right here, if you're wondering where I'm looking. Now, as these levels go higher, you'll see even more flexibility of opportunities through these jobs. And right now, the jobs are not done. There could be even more incentives behind just items. Meson plating on this one. I think we're actually gonna go for this rocket launcher. I guaranteed want a rocket launcher. But otherwise, let's go ahead and look in the shop and see what's available here. I do like our EMP missile launcher, and that's just straight up better. So we're just gonna buy and equip. Tuned energy core, straight up better. Energizer SP though. We're gonna go with the tuned energy core. Primed shield. Yeah, I think that's just better. And then we'll just sell some of this stuff. We're not really gonna do too much crafting in today's stream, I don't think. Not gonna worry about that too much. That's a huge armor upgrade. That's fantastic. I would like to still get a better shield, so we'll have to keep our eyes out for that. But I'm looking to replace this homing missile launcher with some really powerful rockets. So let's go ahead and complete this job and do that. So what I'm hoping for, I don't want to see mindless shooting. Yeah, same here. Like, we've got plenty of games for mindless shooting, am I right? So we want to have some rewarding, you know, traits and abilities there. And we also want to test certain abilities of the person behind the game as well, right? We don't want it to just be, you can't do this unless your stats are this high, right? That's like a, you must be this tall to ride, right? Can kind of be a little frustrating, actually. So instead, we are designing various challenges in other realms, like, you know, speed challenges, memory challenges, etc., just other challenges, right? Exploration challenges. Like, we're designing those not because we want to, you know, create like this massive puzzle game or anything like that. That's not what we're going for. We're trying to create a very immersive world that rewards you for taking the time to experience it, right? That's the end goal there. We absolutely want you to invest your time.
Doesn't look abandoned to me. How many are there? 5. One of them's a pretty nasty viper. I knew it. Don't let them get away.
I'm gonna let them get away. But we want to reward your time investment. And we want to reward individuals who have very specific skill sets. I myself, it maybe doesn't show too much during the course of these streams, but I really like maneuvering challenges, like ones where you're at high speeds, you have to navigate through tight corridors, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, there are the speed rings, right? Like that's a thing. But I'm not necessarily talking about those. I'm talking about like different ways that just really push your understanding of the game to the next level. Just ignore that hacker shop. I have no idea what that is. Just ignore it. I see a question regarding when the full game's coming out, and I also wanted to just very briefly mention so Michael mentions the full release is scheduled for summer 2022. Absolutely, yes. But I also wanted to mention that we will have an update for April itself. So we are in the month of April. Yes, check that box. On schedule. We will be releasing a fairly large update. This is something that's on our timeline. You can actually go check that out through our Kickstarter. I think it's also on the Discord, if I'm not mistaken. It's also on Steam. So for all of you who are wondering like when you're gonna have access to a lot of this stuff that I've been talking about and showing during the course of these live streams, it's on track. Like it's coming. In addition to a lot more story. Well, I shouldn't say a lot more story. It will have more story. And it'll have a lot more details around the general gameplay. Because again, we don't want to give you the full story. It'd be kind of like if you're writing a book and the day before you send it to the shelves for people to read, you're like, yeah, and this is how the story ends. The main character dies. Like, wait, what? Well, I don't need to read the book then. That sounds depressing. But then we're like, but it's about the journey. No, you already lost me. No. So we're not gonna do that to you. We're not gonna give away all the details. High capacity mine launcher. Okay, that's fun. Gonna need you to calm down, Viper. Saw that EMP resistance. Actually, let's go ahead and use some of these missiles, since we're probably not gonna have them too much longer. Go clear some more minefields. And do so is what, do we have? No, we don't actually have any of the other devices yet. We only have the 2 starting devices. Specifically designed this save file so that I can go out and explore and find things. Let's go ahead and unlock high pressure though. That one's always a nice one. Oh man, my aim at shooting mines is on point, let me tell you what. Couple drones, no big deal, excellent. Now, clearing mines, there's an efficient way to do this and an inefficient way. And I will fully admit I'm doing it in a very inefficient way. But be patient and we will be rewarded with those sweet, sweet missiles.
Settled. Okay, good.
Excellent. So whenever you do complete missions, You just have to claim the rewards, just like so. And now right here, you see this rocket launcher that we got is a level 1. Excuse me, game. We worked hard for these missiles. We flew to another system and then took out mines with a pulse laser. I got, guys. Don't worry. The fun part about these streams is you have like the bleeding edge development going on here. You're gonna see some dumb stuff, okay? That's fine. We'll fix it. I don't know who to blame on the team for that. Like, I want to yell at somebody, and I don't know. Michael, can I just blame you? Can I? Michael's like, you're fired. Oh, well, I guess I won't do that one then. Okay, we'll, all right. Bamboozled, yeah, basically. All right, let's take out a couple more enemies. Then we're gonna find a shop to hopefully procure the equipment that we desire. I need to get closer to the sniper drone. You can actually see that the AI on the sniper drones has been tweaked. Actually, we talked about that in the previous stream too. Goodness gravy. AI updates. It's important. It's a very important thing. That's the long and the short of it. In fact, I would argue that the AI improvements create much more dynamics within the difficulty than like skewing numbers. And I want to very intentionally use that word skew, because I think it's really easy to associate difficulty with like numerical values like, oh, this enemy is more difficult because its damage is 50. Ooh, like what does that mean? Do you care? I don't care. So we are very intentional about making the game more difficult, not just because of those numbers, right? We want to make it more difficult because of the interactions you share with what you are facing. That's why we've spent time on the AI of enemy ships. That's why we're spending time creating variations of ships, like the Proto Scout and the Bloodstar faction. It's a very intentional process we're taking. It takes time. But that's a little bit of the mindset, a little bit of our vision for you guys to see and how we're approaching this game space. It's not just numbers. Mark says, hi, Eric. The last time I remember you didn't shoot mines. You flew into them. Ah, yes. I'm so glad that you are back, Mark. I appreciate your viewership. Was that in the Scout, perhaps? Yes. I have fond memories of that. I do enjoy the Scout. That was rather embarrassing. I bet that's even harder to do now that the difficulty has been increased. Oh boy, that should be fun. We might need to purchase the Scout and practice. In fact, I would actually argue, hey, here's another new graphic. Hang on a second. My brain's jumping multiple locations. Let me take out this Proto Scout first, one step at a time. One thing at a time. And then we're gonna just look at the ship color. You can actually see, oh, I'm glad that this dropped credits. So when we're off the side of the screen, I want you to look at the two indicators on the top. You have the one on the left and the one on the right. You see the one on the left is like doing a little flashy thing. It's made out of little different particles. We wanted to make sure that when a ship color drops, it's a little bit more defined. Not anything too crazy, but it's a permanent collectible. And we want to make sure that when you have a permanent collectible, that you can see it so you don't miss that permanence. So here we're going to collect the final ship color, which was actually a bug in your current version. Some of you guys have been hard at work trying to collect all 25. There is a bug, you can only get 24. We did fix it, as you can see. And just other little UI improvements like that, so that, again, when you have permanent items drop, you can see it. Because, I mean, I think we can all agree that the screen, the information that's pouring out, can start getting a little hectic depending on the situation and what you're trying to accomplish. And we want to make sure that you're not missing those more important elements, right? Ainvar X says bug. I have all 25 colors. Well, maybe it was a bug that I only had. Maybe it was a dependent bug on a certain factor. But regardless, we fixed it. All right, grabbing some loot. Ooh, we take those. Ooh, there's a shipwreck. I bet that's got something important in it. May or may not have been what I was looking for. Now, how do we get in there? Whoop, that's a ship. Flawless. Annihilator virus. Absolutely delighted to grab you. Shaking things up a little bit. So we'll go ahead and grab this Annihilator virus, and then we'll upgrade, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and give it incubation. And what this does is it effectively increases the damage output by an additional 50%. Beautiful. And also has a greater chance of spreading to more opponents as well. Elite Okar fighter. Let's see what happens if we mess with them. Is there a difference to picking from boxes instead of shooting them? Not really. It's more like, do you want, it's what flavor do you like, right? Do you like it in a cone or in a bowl, you know? Now let's go ahead and give this virus over. No, we're doing some cheeky plays here because these guys are neutral. They don't really know what's going on. I just plopped this in on them. It's nice and casual. And now it pops. So we have like this little added surprise attack advantage. Man, we need to replace this Gatling gun, huh? All right, let's see if this will do enough to, oh, wow, okay. Okay, good, EMP'd worked. Nice. Bring it down. Done. And more nanobots, nice. Now, generally speaking, the consumables is still being worked on, which is why you see it kind of in a different capacity than in the version you guys are still on. What you see here is more of like the controller design for the consumables. Let me just show you. So whenever you're using a controller, you actually have to hold down a button and then choose your consumable, or even you have to hold down a button to use your device. And it's tied to this up, down, left, right movement based on which button you are pressing, okay? That's what you're actually seeing from the menu here, is you see these little patterns on the right side here. We see that right, up, down, left. That's the direction you would push in order to trigger that using a controller. This is not done. This is not done. But we also, the reason why I'm able to talk about this right now, and the reason why I want to talk about this right now, is because we also do feel that reaching over and pressing your consumables at 5, 6, 7, and 8 is a little bit of a chore. Yes, so it's a little bit of a problem, and we recognize that. So we are seeing what we can do to optimize that, to make it a little bit easier for PC players specifically. While the controller players, actually, it's a really easy time to dive in and utilize consumables the way that they are designed to be used. Will the game come to Google Stadia like Everspace 1? We will have a lot of information with where we are taking Everspace 2 when we get much closer to release. And if we go that direction, we will make those appropriate announcements in that space for you all. Will you be able to use drones in Everspace 2 like in Everspace 1? Not yet. The answer to that question is a fickle one, because the answer is sort of. We'll just have to talk more about drones in the future. But we wanted to make drone buddies a little bit more significant, I think is the best way I can put that. Because I think in Everspace 1, like there was this strong intention to use drones as a distraction for you to work around. That's the words are hard to explain here because like the drones are more like it's flak, right? So you're not really wanting your drones to do too much work unless you're a gunship. You're more using them as a distraction. And we kind of don't want to go that same direction in Everspace 2. So we'll have more information on that in the future. Distractor drone. You're fine with PC consumable bindings because you can rebind them to whatever you want. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, that we love that feature in and of itself. But at the same time, you know, it would be really annoying if we made like our entire game and we're like, hey, yeah, you can customize your controls whatever you want. And to start things off, moving forward is Y, moving backwards is I, moving to the left is 9, moving to the right is spacebar. It's like, hold on a second. Like, we want to make sure that the controls feel natural, right? And right now, for us, the controls for consumables, it feels a little unnatural. It doesn't feel cohesive. So it will be addressed. That's all I'm saying. We're not going to use the excuse of, yeah, you can just rebind it to, you know, say we don't have to work hard to create an accessible game, right? Like that. What developer would do that? That's just yikes. Oh, we lost our boost. All right, hang on. Let's go ahead and do the side mission because I like it. All right, here we go. Here's a target. There we go. Two mad caps? Oh. Okay. I should have gave the virus to the other guy. Oh well. Much better. We got him close enough in time to spread the virus. Okay. Last guy, and then we should trigger the mission again. Beautiful.
4, but the Viper jumped out. Is the package still there?
Unconventional controls for the win. Oh my gosh. We'll just have like the roguelike mode to Everspace 2 is you just like press your controls option and it randomizes the keyboard. Good luck. It binds it, you can't change it until you complete the main story. Woo!
Can't find it anywhere. What ship types did the group fly? Apart from that elite...
If any developer is thinking, wow, that's kind of a unique idea, that would be a lot of fun. Stop it right now. Back up, question your life and its meaning. You need to take a... No, don't do that, okay?
Viper.
Woo!
2 mad caps, a scout,
Someone out there
sniper.
thinks it's funny.
Just as I thought. I hate those
Nobody
guys.
wants
They
it.
pestered me to sell them the wares, but I turned them down. They didn't happen to have left their address by any chance? The Viper pilot has his lair in Rodeo Orbit. I would be very grateful if you could get my package back. This will cost you. How about a raise up to 3.5K? Sounds fair. I'm on it.
Oh my gosh. Martin Bauer, will there be a black hole in the game? We are working on environments and the hazards thereof for future updates. So rest assured, you will see a lot of crazy things show up in Everspace 2. Be them natural, be them unnatural, be them organic. Oh my goodness. But we need a little more time to craft those bad boys. I also like Nursten's concept, like you randomize your controls, right? It's like, okay, forward on Alt, shoot with F4. What could possibly go wrong, right? Oh my goodness. All right, so let's keep going through this mission. Hopefully get some loot. So there's something that I need to tell you all that I left out. So one other thing that I'm hoping to talk with you guys about, actually those perks that I skipped over earlier. Right now, I'm level 14, but I'm actually gaining experience. I don't know how many of you noticed that or not. We are going up to level 15. Nothing is stopping us. This is intended.
Did the trader send you? Yeah. Don't try anything funny. Just return what you stole, and I'll let you go. Never. They say that I'm just like everyone else. I warned you. Hey, it's me. Did the package contain some Viridian paint by any chance?
Also, we fixed it to where whenever an enemy dies that's talking, he stops talking. We figured it made sense.
Yes, that's it. The recipient is already waiting for you at the outer ring. You know that Viridian products are illegal. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying you so well to ask questions.
Fair.
Point taken.
Completing this mission. Then we're gonna go over to Union. We wanna spend some time in Union. Will we add a pilot model to ships? I responded to a question like that over on the forums the other day. And I think what I specifically said was, we think pilot models would be actually really cool, but it's not something that adds anything inherently to the gameplay itself. Like having a pilot model versus not having a pilot model, it's not going to impact your strafing, your maneuvering, your weapons, your, anything like that. So it's certainly something we think would be a nice to have, but we are working very hard on the content of the gameplay experience right now. It would be, we've certainly talked about it internally. Hopefully that's coming across, right? Like it's not eluded us. We know that there's a desire there, and frankly speaking, like we think it would be cool too. There's just a lot of other things to work on.
Are you the guys I'm supposed to meet? You have the package? Yeah, here. This paint job will finally make us stand out. They will see that we're not like everyone else. Am I the only one who prefers to not stand out around here? Time to head back to the train.
Beautiful. Hey! There's the rocket launcher that we wanted. That's a heck of a lot better than what we previously had. We're gonna go ahead and scrap some of these things. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. We'll swap things around. We've been using... Okay, all right, straight about it. We've been using the same stuff for a little bit. Let's try some other stuff out. That's right, we worked on more than 2 weapons in the game. All right, we got a koi gun, and we got a blaster. Oh, it's even green, it matches our ship. That's nice. All right, let's go pick up this little escape pod. And see if we can grind out some of that experience. I've got some ideas. I do see a challenge over yonder. Gosh dang it, I can't show that one. I can't show that one. We're not ready to show that one yet. All right, got a logbook, dismissed.
The pilot never made it back to his freighter.
What'd he show? What was it? Nope, sorry guys, not ready. I called dev hack on that rocket drop. I wish I could say, yep, I did that. Because it would be amazing if I could just, you know, like randomly generate an item. That would be really stinking cool to do, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, I don't have those controls.
Say, about those customers of yours. They were 2 madcaps, a scout.
I'm gonna do it naturally though. It feels better doing it naturally.
They're quite the raggle-taggle group. It's really hard not to like them, isn't it? They're exactly the same as the guys you just made me fight. Nah, there's a big difference. Return to my shop and you'll understand.
Ah, beautiful. Level 6 weapons, that explains things. Yeah, we were definitely underleveled there for sure, Spoot Knight. You don't want us to sell us death sticks? No, not particularly. I'm a Java Juice kind of guy. I'd rather have a non-transparent canopy. I think that's a cool idea. My aim could use some work on this guy. He's pretty maneuverable. That's much better. Hit scan, gang! Stand up. Much better. All right, we gotta head over here. I carry stuff for hours before realizing that it's better. Yeah, we're still working on ways to convey a very quick message to the player that they need to equip what they just found. It's a tricky thing. It's a strangely tricky thing.
Great. Oh, and one more thing. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. All right. So I saw a question here, and I want to make sure it gets answered. So Varus15 over on Twitch says, in Everspace 1, as the game got harder, the game became pretty trigger happy with slapping jump suppressors on the most dangerous thing imaginable, like a frigate. Will we see this in Everspace 2? Now, I have to very much mention that the genre has changed completely. And when a foundation changes, so must its systems. In Everspace 1, there was an immediacy for moving on from location to location. So when you see a jump suppressor, it is inherently your primary concern. In Everspace 2, a very much free range of motion to any location that you want, and backtrack and take your time and figure out your exploration paths and all of that stuff. You get a jump suppressor, it's more of an inconvenience. It's not really stopping you, per se, from continuing in the story or the game. It's more of invoking a certain response, as opposed to a complete denial of game progression. So, looking towards that, we absolutely don't want to have tons and tons and tons of jump suppressors that are just in areas because they can be in Everspace 2, because that would be super annoying. But we do have a reason for including jump suppressors if you're doing certain actions or participating in certain missions in order to overcome. Let's go ahead and see what's in this shop. Ooh. Missiles only deal half of their energy damage to the shield. Thank you very much for that purchase. But we'll take this energy core, even though it's not really too exciting. It's better than what we got. Sometimes that's all you need. All right. Yeah, now we're feeling a little bit better. We've got a little bit more solid goods to use. Nice. So let's head over to Union and start blowing some stuff up. So I wanted to answer another question I just now saw, Gabriel. Sorry. Your question asked a while back. Let's tackle this one. The question is the color of the energy bullets beams tied to the weapon type or the weapon itself? Would be nice if that could be customized. That would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? It is, in fact, a randomization factor so that the weapon is just going to be one thing or another. And we're also looking into, well, actually, I shouldn't say any more than that. That's all we're saying. Redacted. Okay. But we do have a lot of interesting concepts for what's to come in the future. And there's a lot more to customization in the future as well. I can say that. Will it apply to weapons? Maybe. All right. I want to take on some Okar. This is a fairly decent location to do so. I also like it because we are holding some turrets. And I think what I want to do is I want to make like a little trap for the Okar. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I know that outlaws aren't going to spawn here, and that'll get me in trouble. Okay, so I think we're going to head over to... Here we go. This'll work. This'll work. How many more missions are you adding? What's the level cap being raised to in the April update? So more details pertaining to the April update will come pretty soon, actually. Sooner than you might think. So we'll be dropping that information in a bit. Pertaining to how many missions are being added, I mean, I'm not really sure how like what that means. You know what I mean? Like if I said 3, without context of knowing like what those missions are tasking you to do, without knowing how long it will take them, the challenge rating of them, I'm not sure if there's any value in that. But what I can say is that we are adding valuable missions that are varied from what you've seen before to the game space. So, there you go. All right, so let's get some Okar aggression up in this. There we go. Yes, I am wanted, you're right. Intentionally so. Man, they're all really far away from me. That kind of stinks. Okay, here we are. Nearby asteroid. Anything super close? Not really. All right. All right. Well, we're not ready for it yet. Okay. Not yet, but we'll get there. A little bit more aggression. We'll be good to go. Now, the wanted system, again, I've addressed this before. I just want to make sure you guys are aware. The wanted system is still in a place of exploration. It could very easily change, like making it wildly more difficult, way easier maybe. I don't see that happening, but like just prefacing that, there's still a bit more to tweak regarding its system as well. All right, let's go down here. Let's get closer to this asteroid. Yeah, we're getting some guys. Yeah, this wall will be fine, I think. Okay. Oh man, the Okar lost sight of me. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. Okay. Now we don't have to work as hard. Excellent. So more Okar should be jumping in here. There we are. Beautiful. I want to get punished hard for getting heat building up too fast. Yeah, that's fair. Love dissecting patch notes. Oh, you'll be excited for when we drop some stuff. We'll get full patch notes, changes, tweaks made compared to the live version with the April update. Yeah, we want to do our best to do that. Like, if we're not being transparent with what's being changed, I feel like we're not doing our job, right? Because if you don't know what's been modified, then that could make it really difficult for you to like jump back in. At the same time, maybe there is something to be said about that. Maybe not telling you at all. And you have to figure out, I feel that's cruel. Nah, we're not, nah. Yeah, we've got an ongoing list of what we would like to accomplish and what has been accomplished for that April update. I will also say that there have been some things we had to drop, but it's also made room for other elements. So it's just kind of one of those things, part of game dev. But rest assured, it's coming together really well. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and jump out of here because we're not getting hardly anything that we're looking for. And I really want to get some enemies going. So maybe GMB is gonna be the best answer. I feel like Noah Damaris is a good place, except we'll get attacked by Okar there. Avon Rest could be a good solution. We'll do that. We'll do that. That'll be fine. Yeah, sounds have been adjusted a little bit and tweaked a little bit, Kazaa, so that might be something that's been changed. If I purchase early access, will I be required to purchase the game again when it goes live? Nah. You'll get it forever. Purchase one, just get it forever. Could you add some autocannons that go brrr and not rat-tat-tat-tat? Maybe. Maybe one of the item modifiers is just different sound. How disappointing would that be? It's like you find epic loot. You're like, oh man, what modifiers did I get? It's just like changed sound file. Like, oh gosh, I don't know. That hurts. That cuts me deep. I would not like that, but we'll see. We'll see what we can get. Let's see. Would love to see a health drone added as a consumable that could be destroyed. Oh yeah. So I mean, there's going to be, yeah, the drone conversation and what's to come in the future regarding that. There's a lot more to go. There's a lot more to go. We will get there. It's just going to take some time. It's just going to take some time. That's all. Let's go to this settlement, see what's going on.
Hey, how did you find us? I have almost 24 markers on my map. This was one of them.
Scrap. This is bad. Uma, the distractors are offline. We're sitting ducks here.
I'll fix him. But I might need someone to have my back in case those bastards show up.
I'm used to this kind of stuff. I can cover you.
All right. Set yourself up, then tag along. We don't have much time.
Beer done. I like that. I like that concept. He shared, he said, weapon fires faster when you're moving straight ahead. That's kind of, that's an interesting concept. Could be fun. Why are they so trusting in a random stranger concern? Because video game. We actually make fun of that in the story. We actually do make fun of that. The Hive, specifically, he's like, why do people confide in you so easily? Fun fact, if you're not making fun of your own game in development, then you're a bad developer, straight up. Oh, goodness gravy. All right, anyway. What do we have? Anything to buy? Nah. The universe needs more love. Fair. Very fair. All right, we're gonna meet up with Uma.
They're here.
I'll repair the distractors while you hold them off.
Whoops.
Got it.
Beautiful. Let's take him out. Where are we at? About 45 minutes left in the stream. Excellent. Excellent. Done and dusted. Ooh. Now these guys are under-leveled. It's probably an effect of the mission not being updated. But I kind of like how this is easy right now. Considering the beginning of the stream. Wait, is that a QoL gun? How is it that precise? Well, I don't think it's actually that precise. Let's see. We actually don't list the spread anymore, but I definitely know that there's spread going on. I'm getting pretty close. That might be a factor. Yeah, we're at about 600 meter range, even though the weapon, I think is it 2K? Yeah, it's 2K range, but I'm getting pretty close because I don't want to miss my target. Because otherwise, this is, I mean, it's a pretty energy draining weapon. Like if I'm shooting at this range, like look at this armor drone, right? I hit it 3 times in all that shot. That's, not exactly the most accurate at range, so I'm getting pretty close. Some weapons are better at range, some weapons are better at melee, close distance, whatever. Up close, some weapons are better if you can actually aim. What the heck is my problem right now? Okay. There we go, perfect. Yeah, so like this sniper drone, okay, we got some good shots there. I'm happy with that.
Is it just me, or are they getting more aggressive?
They're probably getting more aggressive.
Trying to pin us down for a while. They won't wait for another chance.
Nothing too crazy here. Are turrets indestructible? No, the ones that we've been laying down, no. They are not indestructible. They are very much destructible.
Last wave incoming.
They're trying to get at our provisions.
Here we go. Let's use these new rockets that we got. That would be nice. Also, I'll show you what happens if you try and use like an EMP launcher on an outlaw destroyer, for example. So I think it's important for science. Immune. Straight up immune. Okay. We'll spread some of it. Oh, I didn't even need to do that. What a waste. Hey, level 15. How about that? So there's also something else we added.
Thanks.
We also added this little modifier so when people come to our forums, they don't say, hey, I found a bug. I'm maxed out on level and I'm not gaining any more experience. Now you know that it's intentional.
Let's meet in the hangar.
Excellent. So, let's just go over here. We added 3 new perks. Okay, so the first 3, exit strike, close call, defensive massacre. Second 3, percussive maintenance, downtime warrior, play it safe. And next, some very aggressive perks. I think a lot of you are going to find these very fun, very interesting. Excessive force. Primary weapons deal increased energy damage while your shield is fully charged. Crit happens. Critical hits now have a chance to create an explosion impact that damages the target and nearby enemies for 50% of that damage. And relentless. A percent increased weapon energy capacity for each installed warfare device. We're gonna go with crit happens. So now we have a little bit more incentive to boost our precision and that critical hit chance, because now we're finding things that tie into that effect, right? Exciting new perks. New level who dis.
You saved our derrieres out there. Pay him well, Tico. He deserved it.
Here, does this account for your trouble? It's more than enough. If there is anything else we can do, we gave your ship clearance to bypass the distractors. Feel free to come back anytime.
Kazaw's upset that we didn't get any destroyer backflips. I know, right? Oh, so unfortunate. I think we actually removed that bug. Even though you guys thought it was a feature, we in fact did not want destroyers to do ridiculously fast-paced backflips. So that has been removed. Sniping going to be pretty strong with excessive force. We want to make sure that if somebody really wants to push that sniping game, if they're accurate enough, that you can get the right ship with the right passive, with the right abilities and modifiers and attributes and many other things to like really capitalize on that one thing, right? As it stands, there's actually a gimmick in the game where you can straight up cheese scout play and like getting 500% increased damage with every single freaking shot. That's also fixed. But we seriously do want to make sure that if that's the way you want to play, like if you want to be a sniper, shoot, yes, we're going to make sure that you can be a sniper. Like we want to give you those abilities, right? Hey, we got a flat cannon. That seems fun. Let's replace the blaster. And then we'll just dismantle some of this stuff. But I mean, variety is the spice of life here. At the same time, like, we want to make sure that variety is meaningful too, right? You know? So, if somebody really wants to put all that emphasis on sniping, you should be rewarded for it. It should be effective. And then goes the balancing act of making sure it's not absolutely game-breaking, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. And if we don't, you'll tell us. It's fine. It's advanced fly swatting. Space tactics. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. Let's see. Do we want to change our colors again? You know what? Let's look at some different ship models for the Sentinel. Just because it's nice to see a little bit of variety in the ship. That's a bad angle. Let's get some sun. There we go. So we got our boosters going, but you know, let's change things up. There will be ship customization in the future where you will be able to do something very similar to this, what I'm doing right now. I kind of like these. I like the grills in the front. I like this one. This feels pretty solid to me. And maybe something that goes along, some sort of motif here. That kind of works. That kind of works with the 2 and 2. All right, we'll go with that. A little bit chunkier now. You'll see we don't inherently see the weapons now. We can't quite see them over. We do see our bump on the wing. These cockpits do update to where it's looking out what you see. They're also still getting worked on, so some textures are a little silly. Whoop! I'm great at driving. Yeah, it's not too shabby. You'll also notice that in the upper left, all of my health has just vanished. That's because I'm using cheats. It's okay. Calm down. All right, let's go to another location. Let's see. We could go. Is it this one? That's the gauntlet. No, that's the gauntlet. We like the gauntlet. Zarkov's also fun. It's always a pretty place to go. Let's go over to Zarkov. Cheats! Boo! It's called dev tools. I like that response, not Karar. That's good. Did you fix railgun relatively often firing few pixels off the mark with 0 aim assist? We have tweaked and adjusted a lot of different systems, and that is one of them. Yes. Such a particular question. Bloodstar says, show us the bomber already. His words, not mine. What in the world? What makes you think that I'm just gonna stop everything that I'm doing? What makes you think that anything like that would happen in this very moment? That is absurd. Guys, check out the bomber. So we've been hard at work on this new heavy ship. I know a lot of you have been desiring to know what we've got in store for you in this April update, and surprise, we are working on more heavies. The bomber is not exactly something to take lightly. In fact, some of its special abilities are going to really change up the nature of the game space. Now, you're probably most aware of like how the different fighter types have these subtle little adjustments from one another, right? We have the Sentinel and its shields, right? We have the Interceptor and its weaponry. We have the Scout and its range. You'll see these varied traits applied even to the differences between like the Gunship, which is armor-based, and the bomber, which I'm not allowed to tell you what its special trait is yet, but let me tell you what, this guy is not messing around. When it comes to your secondary weapons, if you are somebody who absolutely adores secondaries and you want to bring it to the fullest of life, I think you're really going to enjoy the bomber. Now, I do also have a couple other angles of the bomber just so that you can see. Again, this is a very, very fresh look at the bomber, like straight out of the gates here, guys. So just giving you all of the angles to see that's model how it's coming together. This is the underside, and then the side of the bomber as well. You can see some of the parts and pieces that are used on the gunship, in fact, like these engines. This is one of the engine types for the heavy class. And it's consistent across the board. And just like the medium ship classes and how I just got done cycling through different engine types, right? You're gonna have a slew of different engine types for the heavies and a slew of engine types for the lights as well. You're gonna have a slew of different wings for each varied type. You're gonna have different cockpits. You're gonna have different bodies, etc., etc. So what you're seeing here is very, 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 very slim pickings, man. I'm telling you, like, this is just the beginning of the bomber. Oh my gosh, that missile is looking like it's gonna hit me right in the face. Whew, all right. So we're getting into it. So that is your first look at the bomber. Your very first look. chunky ship hoggers. That thing is thick. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I don't know how many of you know this about my particular, don't do that webcam, you knock it off. You stay focused. Focus. I don't know how many of you know my particular work and some of the elements that I assisted through Everspace 1. But let me tell you what, the Gunship and I, we're not really that big of friends. We're not. We went through a lot of trial and error and modifying and tweaking those figures to get it to a nice, healthy place of progression through the course of the game. Now, my friendship with the Gunship has exceeded all expectations now in Everspace 2. And that extends to all of the heavy variations that we are working on. Let me tell you what, when you are after a particular playstyle, if you want to capitalize on a very specific medium like armor, or in this case, the furthest I'm gonna talk about is missiles, you are going to have a freaking heyday. Oh my gosh. So definitely note that it's a playstyle that not everyone's gonna enjoy, I don't think, but the variety is there, the opportunity is there, and this might be your new favorite ship when it drops in April. Very soon, incredibly soon. Oh my gosh. So I'm excited, and you should be too. Is that the missile boat? This is the bomber. You could effectively call it a missile boat. That would work. You could effectively call it the Gunship, the missile boat. That kind of works. A bomber is relying on missiles. Spoilers! I know, right? Beer, don't tell your friends, okay? They'll get too excited. Will we see more scout variations? Yes. Rocket barrage, but everybody already has rocket barrage. Everybody already has it. Everybody's already got it. So I'll show you more of that bomber in a little bit. But right now, just a picture. Just a picture is gonna suffice. We want to get these bad boys out of our grill. Oh, that flag's nice. Ooh, that flag was nice. I think I actually got a critical hit in there, and it did splash damage on top of the flak splash damage. And the reason why I did splash damage is because we have this beautiful little element called crit happens. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful addition. So, new perks. New ship. Oh, whoops. We activated the race early. Hang on, we're just gonna wait this out. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna see what we can do in this ship. Even though this is not a very maneuverable ship, this is probably not a good ship to do this in. Do it with inertia off. No, I'm not a masochist. All right. What ship is this one? This is the Sentinel. This is the Sentinel. And you know, I don't know how I don't know about this style. Hang on, let's change it again. Let's go more like a traditional. It's not bad. This is almost like the starting ship. That is the starting ship. We'll make a fork. Really pointy front. Okay. And then we'll just like the big booster on the end, right? There we go. This should make it more aerodynamic for a race. All right, here we go. Let's see how bad we are at this. It's not too bad thus far. I can already see that we need better energy management. Oh! Oh! I could have did so much better. Oh my gosh, that was bad. That was pretty bad. We gotta try again. We gotta try again. This is bad. One more time. Paint it red. Red goes fast. Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh my gosh. Red actually adds plus 15,000 speed. This is a known fact to any game. Shoot, I'm not near a station though, so we're gonna have to suffice. I'm sorry. All right, let's do it again. All right. Ah! Bad! That's where we want to do the boost. And I missed another. Oh gosh, that was so bad. I missed 2. All right, last attempt. Now I have to like make up for my dumbness. All right. And some of you might be looking at this being like, is this required? Is this something that I have to do? Oh my gosh. Is this something that I have to do in Everspace 2? No, this is just a complete little challenge on my own to see if I'm competent at all in the slightest. So far, I'm failing it, so that's not exactly too thrilling. We still missed one. That's fine. That's good enough for me. That's fine. Maybe you guys can show me some really sick maneuvers. Save it, post it in like a GIF or a YouTube video or something. That would be pretty awesome to see. But for now, we'll just fly through this terrifying location. Oh, actually, we passed by some goods. And we also, I love this asteroid in the background. I love the way it looks. I love how menacingly it appears. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and grab this secure container, which I believe we fixed how this works. This is still on. We need to disable that. Oh yes, new UI indicators for shield generators. Might be a little hard to see. You squint your eyes, just focus in on it. New little UI modifiers. Since there are a lot of things that can show up, we want to make sure that you have the ability to understand what you are looking at. It is important. I forgot I had that mission. Okay, and then energy orb socket. Shoot, where's the energy orb dispenser? Oh, I forgot. Bonk. It's a battery. That's another socket. Oh no. Oh no, guys, I forgot where this is at. Oh, that's bad. There's too many locations. I'm already forgetting where things are at, but that's fine. It's fine. In fact, I'm pretending I don't know, so you have to find it. Oh, that doesn't even work. It's fine. Whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of secrets. This is one of them. We got a parcel for a mission, and then if you find the energy orb to place in here, you'll actually unlock 2 secure containers to your benefit. A lot of batteries around here, but I don't remember. I legitimately forgot where the energy orb is. Yeah, oh well. Energy sphere dispenser. Well, I'll be! Dice is being like, it's over by the race. Thank you. And a shipwreck, too. All right, let's grab this. Take it back over. Notice that whenever we have the energy sphere, we do have energy flow. Wait, look, see, hey, it's up here too. Current condition. We'll have that listed there too, so now you understand what that even means, because it's gonna explain there, right there, it'll say unlimited energy pool for 24 more seconds. So you can fire as much as you want, you can boost as much as you want while you're holding one of these. So it's not just for puzzle solving, it's also for strategic gain in certain situations. All right. So now we get a thermogun, a mine launcher, and that super valuable Eterna bypass. Feels good. We had a fun little question earlier on Discord. Somebody was asking about how the thermogun if the thermal gun was affected by the lock-on. So let me just go ahead and clear that up with a visual demonstration. When you are not locked onto an enemy at all, you cannot start a lock-on through the thermogun or through a missile. When you do lock onto him, we have to get a bit closer here. When you do start that lock-on, you can immediately use the thermogun and it will trace its target. Immediately. The only thing that indicator is for your missile. And if your missile doesn't have a lock-on, like a rocket launcher barrage, then nothing happens for a lock-on. So again, thermogun, it always fires at your target that you're locked on. A missile that requires a lock-on must also take 2.5 seconds before you can fire at that target. And missiles that don't have a lock-on do not generate one of those lock-on lock things. Whew. You're only a masochist when around mines. I've been found. Aw, man, access denied. That's unfortunate. We'll have to visit there another time. Okay, cool. So I've been showing a lot of little new things. And also the bomber, which we just saw, right? And now I think it's a really good time to just kind of open the doors up for any questions that you guys might have, since, you know, there's a lot to talk about. There's always something that's coming. There's something that's being worked on. And, you know, we are in the month of April. This update is still right on time. It's still coming. We're not pushing things back. And I just want to open up that door, and I know that you guys have a lot of questions about some of the stuff that I've shown, and also the stuff that you've just heard about. And I want to make sure that you're getting responses directly from us, the developers. So I'm opening that right now. And I want to just cruise through them. Got tired of waiting for April update, decided to replay Everspace 1. Hey, you know what? I'm not even mad. I think that there's so much more work coming to Everspace 2. You gotta wait for it. Like, it's gonna take a lot of time. So I'm glad that you're able to being okay with, how do I do this in English? Let me say that again. I'm glad that you're finding ways to occupy your time while we make the game. It's actually really appreciated. Can lock-on missiles magically connect with your target or something nearby, or is it hard-coded to miss? So if you're talking about if they are not targeted yet, they just fire straight forward. So like if you're almost locked and you fire your missile, it's just gonna go in a straight line. Like the second you get the lock, it's not gonna like cycle back around. It's just gonna keep going. So you wanna wait until you have that full lock-on. It's not hard-coded to miss per se, it's hard-coded to travel in that straight. Yeah, if it hits something else, it will still have that effect. So let me see if I can do that. Let me just get a target here. Hoping for a big target where I won't miss, because like this is problematic. I'm not seeing, where was that frigate? Over by the jump gate, right? Hang on a second, I've got an idea. And now we're too close to the hostiles, come on. Come on. Where's that frigate? Ah, there he is. Okay. That's not a frigate. Gosh dang it! Come here, frigate! Goodness gravy. Somebody is probably thinking like, just use the commands and spawn one in. I would, except there are things there now that you can't see yet. Okay, so freelancer cargo carrier. So if we are starting the lock and we shoot away and like we aren't locked on and it hits the target, you saw it said immune, right? So it still had its effect otherwise, where it's trying to EMP it, right? It still did the damage very lightly. You can barely see it there. Still did the damage, even though it wasn't locked on. Still did the effect, even though it wasn't locked on, because it hit. And that's how it's gonna work with any of the homing missiles. All right, let's take out this Outlaw Ravager. Oops. See, I fired that and I didn't wait for a lock on yet. That was surprisingly easy. I do like the executioner. Mine launcher, it's fine. Oh, there's a lot of stuff over here. Okay, cool. All right, now to answer some more questions. Oh. Happy with Everspace 2 already? That's great! That means that everything that's coming is going to be incredibly exciting for you, because there is a frickin' ton coming. Are there going to be weird enemies like the Dark Matter or the Ancient in Everspace 2? Yes. Small question about missile lock-on. If you've locked on and have fired a missile, if you look away before the missile hits the target, will it still hit? Yes. Or does it miss when you lose focus? No. It will still hit even if you look away. The lock-on, however, will affect another missile. So like if you shoot and you're locked on, right? You shoot and you're locked on, and then you look away and you shoot your missile again, that breaks the lock. So the first missile is still on track to hit. The second missile is just gonna fly straight forward, excuse me. If you're good at just YOLOing rockets at targets without lock-on and still hit them, you can do that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's also like a big delight in our, rocket barrage, right? It's like just shooting an absurd number and just kind of pray and spray, right? That's what it's called. Feels a nice amount of damage. Oh, baby! We just won the game. We got ramen. We got ramen! Screw this homing missile launcher. We got ramen. That's a victory. All right. We've completed the game. That's all there is, folks. We got ramen. Will there be enhancements and mods to affect lock-on? Yeah, I think that with the addition of lock-on, we've opened up the doors with secondaries for some pretty flexible and interesting ways to modify your equipment further. So yes, I'm just gonna straight up say yes. For example, you might find a heavy missile variant versus a standard missile, of course, that we're not holding. That's fine. You have a standard missile variant and then a heavy missile variant. The heavy missile variant would require like a 5-second lock-on versus the standard missile, which would be like 2.5 seconds, right? Did I say pray and spray? Spray and whatever. Words are hard. We simplify terms so much. Let's see. Fire and forget. That's also, yep. There's too many terms. I'm trying to think. There's other ways that it could affect the missile too, right? So like, for example, let's say you get a modifier that the missile deals chain damage. I don't know, throwing something out there. but the ramification is that it takes 3 whole seconds longer to charge, right? I'm digging this track. I don't know about you guys, but but more stuff can come of that. We haven't, I will fully admit as well that we have not begun playing around with that because there's a lot of other unique modifiers that we've been slowly introducing in the game. Kind of like this particular shield has one of those modifiers. Missiles only deal half of their energy damage to the shield. So long as I have my shield up, I'm inherently stronger versus projectile missiles. So stuff like that. It rewards certain playstyles, rewards certain builds. You know, since the Sentinel gets a 30% shield bonus, that synergizes really well with that unique trait, etc., etc. Is the just one update to a secondary weapon permanent, or will that be dropped later? I want to make sure I understand what you're asking. Are you talking about the lock-on specifically? Or are you talking about modifiers that affect secondaries? Is the just one update to a secondary weapon permanent, or will that be dropped later? Because the lock-on, that is a element that is coming to the game in April. Modifiers, like expanded modifiers for everything, that's something that's a constant work in progress. And it's going to make a lot more sense pertaining to why we've been waiting on those modifiers, because the new ships that we're introducing are going to change things up inherently. So the ship choice you have is kind of like your base of what you want to accomplish, and then the modifiers are going to enhance, complement, or derail what that base looks like. And that's how your customization is really going to come together. Does and will the lightning in the background do damage, or is it just atmospheric? Right now it's just atmospheric, but that can very easily be changed. There are actually instances where there's lightning zones, and if you fly too close, it fries your shields. So do keep that in mind. Oh, the ability to make a 13 into a 14, the crafting. So crafting in and of itself, like for example, if we want to modify this EMP launcher and upgrade the level, right? Like we can do that. So now it's a level 15 EMP launcher. Absolutely, we can still do that. And now it has that modified trait, so it can't be adjusted any further. This is something that we're still exploring. Currently, we're happy with it. That could very easily change. It's just one of those things in game dev where it's like we have to figure out if this is complementing our overall vision, if it feels good to players. I am so jamming with these tunes right now. Oh my gosh. But anyway. But yeah, like we want to make sure that a 1 mod limit feels right. We don't want it to feel so restrictive that it breaks the item usage for the player, or it breaks the crafting usage for the player. So we'll see. Any UI updates coming to crafting next update? For crafting specifically, I don't think so. I don't think so. So if we were like pertaining to like blueprints, for example, I mean, we're obviously adding new blueprints to the new content. I was on the wrong one. Like we're adding like the EMP missile, like you can unlock that blueprint now, for example. But in regards to UI, I mean, mostly what you see here, it's should be pretty similar, right? But I'm sure that's going to be something we readdress in the future when more content is available. But yeah. So yeah, guys, I've shown you a lot of little UI tweaks and updates and tentative design decisions. New perks. Showed you that we are working on a condition tracker that helps you understand the game a little bit better. Ship customization, a little bit, just a teeny little bit. of helping you know what you've chosen. Very minor thing, but we like it. It's fun. Showed you a new ship in a screenshot only because if I showed you in game, Michael would slap me and it would hurt my face. And I don't know if I would recover. And then, I mean, we showed the data tab before. There's not really anything new that's come into significance here yet. In fact, whenever we drop the update in April, my guess, when we drop the, I shouldn't say in April, this month, when we drop the update this month, soon, a lot of these things are still not gonna be workable, okay? So like this conditions tab though, like that should feel really nice because this is a direct comparison to that conditions in the ship, right? So you'll be able to like at any point in time, be able to know what conditions do and how they affect you, regardless of if you have it or not. So you see an opponent, they've got a little symbol on them and you're like, what the heck is that? Come on game, tell me. Well, actually, the game does have that information in the data tab, or it will. So there's a lot here that is going to be added, still being worked on. But then of course you have some of the stuff that you're familiar with. It's just been moved, whoops. It's just been moved around a little bit. And yeah, cool. Who wants to look at the bomber again, yeah? There's no dodging from Mike damage. Oh my gosh, what a savage, but also true. Oh my gosh. Not sure how I feel about the time restriction when shuffling weapons due to my cheese scout strategy of switching out weapons. Yeah, that's actually something we haven't fully addressed yet. So currently, I would say that weapon swapping is a little bit exploitable. We had the intentionality to where your energy management of your weapons would be a little more important. That's what I'm gonna say pertaining to that. That was gonna be a little important. So that may or may not be addressed in a dramatic fashion in the future, pertaining to how your energy output and your weapons and their capacity and consumption is affected. So that way you can't just like hyper change between weapons. So I guess what I'm saying is I kind of agree with you. But we'll see, we'll see. A lot more development. Batch dismantling. Oh yeah, we also have batch dismantling. Let's sort this first. And then, so what you can do is you can go to your expanded cargo and say like, you don't want any of the tech resources, right? So then all you do is you just mark them. These are tech resources. And say that like you accidentally selected a weapon as well, right? So now it's like, I want to destroy all of these. Well, guess what? This isn't affecting the weapon because destroying a weapon would suck. Instead, this is crafting, right? So it dismantles instead of destroys. So even though you accidentally selected that weapon, it's only gonna destroy all of these and not the weapon. Otherwise, we can mark the other weapons as well and be like, well, I wanna kind of batch process all of these, and we just dismantled 3 weapons at the same time, right? In addition to that, you can also like say we want to like store all of these resources at the same time in the home base. Yeah, you can totally do that as well. Send it all to the home base. So that's how the batch processing works at this point in time. Might tweak it a little bit further, who knows? It's game dev, anything could happen. Oh, task weapon swap any percent. Oh my gosh, J-Gnarl. That's funny. That's pretty good. But for anyone who's like wondering, what is he talking about weapon swapping? So before, whenever you fired a weapon, you could cycle between the weapons like hyper fast. Now I'm cycling between the weapons so fast that I'm not even able to, well, actually it's because of the charge up. This is a bad example. Hang on a second. We need another weapon. So this is a good time to talk a little bit about the locations that you can go to visit our social elements. We have a lot of different things that we want to say and communicate with you, and the best way to stay in the know is by joining us at the site of your choice. We post your screenshots on Instagram. We talk a lot about things in Reddit. We also do that same sort of talking of things in Discord. We're also on YouTube and Twitch. I know that that's really surprising since we're live streaming to YouTube and Twitch. Also, it's not on here, and I keep forgetting to remind Will that we need to add it on, but the Steam forums is absolutely the place to go if you have any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, or otherwise on, the game. It's really the ideal place because when you submit an idea over to the forums, it allows us to very, very inherently catalog those thoughts and suggestions in an organized capacity so that it's not lost. If you post a bunch of stuff in the Discord, the chances of it getting lost is hyper high because, the way that chains work in Discord is that, old ideas and thoughts are basically pushed out and replaced by new ones. So Discord's a great place to chat with us directly and also to get notifications on upcoming elements and things. Forums are a great place to share your suggestions and your thoughts and your feedback for that style of engagement and the cataloging appropriately. All right, so now we're back into the game and I absolutely didn't cheat at all. Wow, we found some weapons. Okay, so what I'm talking about is the ability to swap back and forth between weapons. So like here, Gatling gun to pulse laser. You can hear the Gatling gun, and this is as fast as I can change between the weapons. So there's a little bit of delay instead of just hyper going between both of them. So to even make it a little more clear, going between the flak and the pulse laser, you can see that we're cycling between them so fast that the weapons aren't just stack firing with one another. This is a very important change that we had to modify so that you can't do that type of shenanigan. But beyond that, something else that I was previously addressing is like the energy management as a whole within the ships, within the weapons. That may or may not be addressed in the future. So, okay, guys, that's the end of the stream. That's all the things that I have for you. So we are absolutely going to end it one more time, just with a picture of that sweet, sweet bomber and what's coming into the future so that you know that we've been hard at work on all things Everspace 2 related. We are really looking forward to this April drop. Again, still on schedule for April, still bringing it to you. There's a lot of stuff that we've talked about, a lot of stuff that we've shared, and there's still a lot more coming. Oh my gosh, guys, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. It keeps going. It's like, some of these things are like, it's on the timeline. It's like, okay, well, we know that there's player ships coming. We know that there's, clearly going to be new enemy types, but all these little content tweaks and adjustments and quality of life changes, especially due to your feedback. It's been such a pleasure being able to serve you through this process. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys respond when we drop this. And share even more news with you next week about this April update. Oh my gosh, it keeps coming. Just more information. Next week, you're gonna get more information. The week after that, more information. The week after that, is that still April? If it's not, then you'll have the update. I don't even know. What's time and space? Guys, I gotta go. You've been amazing. Don't stop being awesome. I won't stop being Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for all things Everspace 2 related. And, we'll see you next week. All right, toodles! Oh my gosh, Spoot Knight, you're totally right. I could have just crafted a weapon. you absolutely don't want to miss next week for more information on Everspace 2's April update.